Your content is good, but your listeners are bored to tears. And the problem is, if you listen to the common advice about be yourself and just be authentic, it's going to make the problem worse because the problem is actually you. Welcome to B2B On Air. I'm your host, Joseph Lewin, and in today's episode, I'm going to share with you one simple tweak you can make to be less authentic that's actually going to help you to engage your audience better. So when you're having a normal conversation with somebody, you do want to be yourself and you want to use your normal tone and cadence. There's some things that you might want to change, but that natural way of having a conversation can be very engaging for people. When you're on video, or it's even more so when you're just on audio, if you talk in the same way that you do in normal conversations, you're going to lose people's attention. So you need to understand that if you're running a podcast, you're stepping out of the realm of being a normal human being and you're stepping into being an entertainer. Even if your podcast is focused on something educational, if you're able to do a few things that entertainers do, that radio hosts do, you're able to pull in your audience, keep them engaged way more effectively. And one of the easiest tweaks that you can make, or let me rephrase that, one of the simplest, I won't say easiest tweaks you can make, is to have more musicality in your voice. So what do I mean by that? If you talk to me in a normal conversation, I'm probably not going to sound the way that I do right now. I'm going to be talking to you, I'm going to say, hey, look, if you want to be better at podcasting, you really need to think through how you're communicating and talk more effectively. And I tend to drop into what you just heard there, a very monotone voice. And it's not that cool Eastern European affect where you're kind of like ultra monotone and you don't change at all. It's worse than that. It's this monotone that just barely shifts up and down a little bit. Whereas if you listen to radio hosts, you listen to people who are on air all the time, they have a lot of changes in their voice. And it's something that I'm still working on. So if you're going, hey, Joe, you sound over the top, I don't want to sound like you, well, I'm working on it. But trust me, people are way more engaged when I add extra musicality in my voice. So what does that look like in practice? It means having some things where you want to emphasize something. And so you're going to talk a lot faster than you normally would and go really quickly. And then you're going to emphasize a different point by slowing down and being a little bit more methodical about what you're saying. So you have the speed aspect, which is what I'm sharing with you there, but then you also have the tonality. And so if you raise your voice up to a higher pitch at certain points and then you lower it down to a lower note, you're actually changing what you're communicating through your voice. And just having a little bit more movement, a little up and down, think of it like when you're writing. If you write a bunch of similar sentences all the way through, it's really hard for readers to actually read through that content. You kind of get stuck because all the sentences are about the same length, they're structured about the same. But when you have a few sentences that are really long, and then you have a few sentences that are really short, just by changing the musicality of your voice, you're actually able to communicate much more effectively and keep people engaged longer. I'm going to share a quick story to illustrate this. There is a video that I posted on my YouTube channel, nothing related to B2B content. I build things and burn things and do kind of crazy stuff on my property. But this one video that I made has gotten almost 100 million views. Now, it's kind of broken over different social channels, and I've had a few iterations of it, but the hook is the same on every single one. And for whatever reason, that hook way outperforms. But the funny thing is, the first time I posted it, it tanked. And then I watched a video of Jenny Hoyos, I think that's how you say her name, on Jay Klaus's show, where she talked about YouTube shorts and how to go viral. And I imitated some of the things that she does. And my video literally went from getting a couple thousand views to getting, I believe the first version of it got 15 million views on TikTok. And the only change wasn't the actual content itself. It was my voiceover that I did. And I added way more musicality. I was way over the top and people love it. Or they hate it. It's one of the two. But it got way more attention, way more views. And on YouTube, that video alone has gained me about 35,000 followers. And so it's easy to write this off of being over the top and unauthentic, but I would rather be a little bit over the top and actually engage people, grow an audience, get attention, than to stick to my boring, monotone voice. So if you have a choice of being authentic, but you're authentically boring, it might be time to work on how you're communicating and level up your entertainment value so that people actually listen. And with that, thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you on the next episode.